Right, it's time for Joy News Interactive, and Aisha has joined me. Good evening to you, Aisha.
Good evening, Israel.
How,
Beautiful tie.
thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How
All
are
right.
you too?
All right, I'm good.
All right. So you know how to join the conversation is on facebook.com/Joy News on TV, and on Twitter is on Joy News on TV. You know how to do it? Just get that glass of fruit juice and wait patiently for this beautiful conversation. Now, your dream of making more babies this year because of the free SHS policy may have to hold for a while because government's intention to run the policy from the Heritage Fund has been met with fierce resistance. The Heritage Fund is originally meant to support future generations at a point when the country's oil reserves are depleted. However, there have been divided opinions on whether the fund should be used to finance government's free SHS policy. So, what do you think about this back and forth? Please share your thoughts on this issue.
Yes, I think the Heritage Fund is something that we are building for the future. So if our children are our future, so there's no problem with using the Heritage Fund for the people who are going to be carrying our future in the first place. Why would we have lost? Because every single person, the education of your child, we are going to invest in the education of your child. So if your child doesn't turn out right in the school, would you say that you've lost money? No, it's still an investment. It can go bad either way. So yeah.
Free SHS actually is a step in a good direction in the sense that when you get to SHS, it's like you're in a critical point in your life. From there, you're going to the uni, and you need all the help you can get to actually be able to succeed. And so, in that case and sense, I think it's in the right direction.
Some of us think education is the future. So if only the Heritage Fund is going to be invested in education. And I believe if the youth today are well educated, they are going to handle the future. So I think it's in the right direction. If actually the Heritage Fund is going to be pumped into education as the NPP government is claiming, I think it's a very good idea because I believe education is the future. Because if you keep the resources down and the youth today who are the future generation are not well educated, they're going to waste it.
Right. So interesting conversations outside the streets of Accra. Let's check what you've been posting on our Facebook platform.
Ebenezer Yankee says the law on the Heritage Fund, Act 815, which established the Ghana Heritage Fund, spells out the objectives of the fund to, among others, provide an endowment to support development for future generations when their petroleum reserves have been depleted. Judicious Odro says, I don't understand about NDC and the minority. Do they think about the development of this country? What's the essence for creating this heritage fund? Is it not for our future generation? And what is the wrongdoing for this government to invest into our educational sector, which will help build our science and technology for our future generations? So they should give us a break. Kofi Gabriel says, what does heritage means? What are we going to inherit? When we don't have good hospitals and good education, what will there be to inherit if no one is born? Nana, use it to better our life, because unborn generations will come and use. Okay.
Come in her.
All right. If we don't put up good roads, good hospitals, and build good education, then what are they coming to inherit? All right. Thank you very much for your comment.
And Kenneth Sky Big No says, okay, Kenneth Sky says, big no, why? Even the ant, when storing food, do it in abundance for future consumption. What at all are they going to use the 70% oil money for? Even tax, foreign aid, donations, roads and infrastructures have been done by past governments. What at all are our leaders doing to this nation? Sumani Swale says, should the money be shared among the citizenry? I don't understand Ghanaians at all. We complain every day that politicians are mismanaging our finances, and now they want to invest in our children education, and that one too is a problem. Wahabu Ibrahim says, anyway, so those are some of your comments on our Facebook platform. Also, imagine your daughter or your sister got married at a tender age, an age so young you could not take care of yourself, talk less of performing wifely duties. It might be hard to imagine, but take a moment to visualize such a circumstance. That is what most children in some parts of the country go through, with a lot more revealed in Joy News Hotline documentary Tender Brides of the North, where children as young as 14 are being married off. Well, while some have no qualms with the practice explaining its culture, others believe it is only influenced by poverty and ignorance. Question I ask, is there any justification for child marriage, and what can be done to put an end to this?
For poverty reasons, that's the main factor. That's the main factor. But actually, I'm thinking that since civilization has gone overboard, I think that those places also should also experience the civilization too. Civilization should be sensitized to them. They should go there and then educate them on what exactly is the repercussions involved in giving your child out and all those things, because those things, they disturb the kids psychologically.
Maybe she's not okay, he can't love that person, and maybe it's meant for someone else, and the man will come in that I want to marry you, I want to be with you. I think it's a wrong thing to do. For me, maybe to go out and talk or form some society or something to talk about it, to advise them, to educate them so that they can stop it.
I mean, if you say for poverty's sake, you give a young child out for marriage, the question is marriage a business venture where we are going in to make profit? And even if the man can pay the bride price or whatever that the family is looking for, how long can that money sustain you? So if you say that for the sake of poverty, I'm giving my child out for marriage, personally, I think there's no reason in it. How long will that money sustain the family? Do you become immediately rich? I mean, as soon as the child is giving out. So no, there's no justification. Yeah. There's definitely no justification.
It boils down to we having shallow thinking. You see, we're not thinking deeper. We're not envisaging the future of the child. We're not really thinking about what will happen next when this action is done. We just think about what we want now, the greediness of what we would gain right now. So if we should think ahead and think about the welfare of the child, what we're watching people become, we could envisage that, or our children could also become that. We won't toe that line of barbaric act.
Okay. So lastly, we know that most of these things are as a result of cultural, how they are accepted in some societies. Do you think we'll be giving out our culture if we tend to say it's wrong?
Well, now, I don't know what to do.
No, but if it's wrong, it should be wrong, right?
Yes, it's wrong. It's wrong. And you can't follow culture, then do something wrong. That's what I think. We can't follow our culture, then give our child out for somebody who she doesn't love. We go in for someone we do love, right?
Very interesting comments, Israel. What do you think about this whole child's marriage?
Well, I think it should be done away with. Especially because most of these child brides are taken away from school and they're deprived their education. Which
and you say the impact is not only the child, it also affects the children that come from that marriage. Yeah. I think it's a very serious thing. Let's check what you've been saying on Facebook.
Isaac Apia says, I think ignorance and poverty are the main reasons why some parents give off their children to the elderly ones for marriage. These child marriages can be ended by creating an enabling environment for the parents who practice this so they can cater for the needs of their children. Kwesi Boateng says, in this 21st century, I get hernia when people hide under tradition to trample probably on people's rights. Why should you marry an underage girl and tell me it's culture? Some culture to be some way, be power. There is no justification for that act. And a man says, I personally think there should be enabling environment and capacity building for families who engage in such behavior so they would be empowered to take good care of the girl child, even if it is cultural poverty instigated.
I think I agree. And Bambakia Samet says, most of the girls walk into such marriages themselves, though few of them are forced into it. I'm saying this for a fact. You may argue with me due to where you stand, but trust me, only a insignificant fraction of such girls are forced into it. Really? That would be interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, it's my first time hearing this. I mean, which child will decide that I want to go and put myself in this kind of stress when I'm not up to the task? All right, so finally, I really don't know how you feel about beauty pageants, but I'm aware that some people really, really enjoy it and will pay any amount to catch a glimpse. Well, what if I tell you that Guinea has banned beauty pageants after some ladies wore skimpy outfits, including bikinis, on a pageant? The ladies in bikini paraded in front of Prime Minister Mamadi Yola, who was also at the event. This has caused outrage in the country, including a backlash on social media, with majority of people saying it is a shame to the Guinean culture. Government has since ended its contracts with organizers of the pageant, and the ban is set to be in place until a new code of ethics is drawn to regulate such pageants. So tell me, would you support a ban on beauty pageants in Ghana for a similar reason?
No, I don't think we should ban it because it promotes some of the beauty pageant promotes our culture, but we should just modify it a bit. That's all, but a bit. The nakedness of the girls. It's sometimes it's too. They reveal that it's too, so they should find some way of, as I said, modify it a bit.
I don't think so, because if it's for me, for me being the shy type, I wouldn't be able to do it. But if someone is confident enough to expose some parts of her body, like maybe at least she is putting on a bikini or something, so I don't think it's that bad for her to for Ghanaians to ban it.
Okay, so you think wearing a bikini is fine?
Yes, it's okay, because we go to the poolside with it anyway, so there are still people there at the poolside. At least it's okay. For me, I don't have any problem with that.
The indecency, the system, the way it's going, people want to expose themselves. What's worrying me? I'm 52 years, but I've been looking at the way we young guys dress, especially the musicians. A musician will dress nice, playing his music, but we want people to attract the music. So you go and bring a lady, nice lady, naked, for people to attract, which is, I don't know what is it. And the ladies also, the way they dress too, sometimes they can't complain. They can still do it, but they should let people know the beauty contest is not something like if somebody is on beauty contest, you look at the dress, and you also after the beauty contest, okay, let me also go and wear something else and walk on the street.
All right, interesting comments from the streets, but I'll show you the picture of the
yeah. So apparently
ladies.
this is the photo of the skimpy dressing
that was on stage.
That got this whole thing, the beauty pageants, to be banned.
All right, let's check what you've been saying on Facebook.
All right, Kwesi Boateng says, till today I've not been convinced on the importance of beauty pageants, but these are the very programs which get cozy sponsorship. Israel, can you give me one reason why there was Miss Ghana competition at all? Should be banned in Ghana too. Bam. Matthias Amoako says, I really support the idea if Ghana takes such a move. I was very upset what happened just on your sister station last Valentine Day at Joy Prime TV. It was very terrible, the kind of dress the pageants put up. Please let's create decency and respect our culture. And Tiana says, of course, I'll support any move by the government to stop these nuisances on our televisions in this country as a whole. I don't see any relevance in their existence. They are just there to publicize nudity and indecency among the youth.
And Papa Beka Wunchi says, oh yeah, something which get more sponsors than a dying who needs, a dying person who needs a talking for surgery, but our big guys enjoy watching half-naked girls in the name of pageantry. T.A. Men says, yes, because how can an event which can cause no injury has more sponsorship than football and weightlifting and education? Nasra Hassan Yaima says, I will with two hands, but come to think of it, I still don't understand the meaning of beauty pageants. Is it natural beauty or it is shamefully exposing your body that we call beauty pageant. Those are some comments from the streets. Time is fast spent. I would have said something about this. I'll reserve my comments for another day. And so that's where we draw the curtains on the interactive segment. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Have a great one.